happy early evening, late afternoon to everybody, and thank you for taking the time to join myself and the fellow corn growers here for the announcement of our 5th Consider Corn Challenge winners, and we have a couple extra guests as well that will be doing an additional award announcement here shortly. For those that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Sarah McKay, and I serve as Director of Research and Market Development with the National Corn Growers Association based out of our St. Louis office. Some of you may not know who NCGA is, so if not, I figured I would just take a quick moment before we get to our winner announcement and get to hear from them to help you better understand a little bit more about where we are coming from and why is corn even at this event. If you aren't familiar with National Corn Growers Association, we are a grower-led association that represents the interest of the 300,000 U.S. corn growers across the United States and the interest of our dues-paying members. We have around 40,000 dues-paying members across the U.S. We have a pretty broad reach, as you can see on the map here, with 27 grower-affiliated state associations and various checkoff boards that really help guide the work that we do. Given what I just said about growers guiding the work that we do, we are truly a grassroots organization. We have representation from all 3 segments here of our Corn Congress Action Team and committees and Corn Board. So if you see any of our corn growers or state staff floating around, please be sure to say hello as well. But the main point of this is to really demonstrate that our Consider Corn Challenge and our other efforts that we call our new uses efforts or new utilization efforts are really driven by our U.S. corn growers. So this gives you a little bit idea of the structure. We've got our Corn Board, which we've got Kelly Newenhouse and Jason Lewis representing the Corn Board here. Jan Tembenzel, if he's in the room as well, you probably heard from him earlier. He's also on the Corn Board, so feel free to pick their brain. They're responsible for our policy, setting the financial direction of the organization, and really executing our strategic vision. You have our action team and committees, which we have several members of here today that help guide the work that we do through those 6 committees. And then we have the members of our Corn Congress that are representing from all of our different states. As I mentioned, the action teams and committee structure, the one relevant to the work that we're doing and the work that you all do as an industry and the bioeconomy is related to the research and new uses action team with help from several of these other action teams as well. So I would welcome any engagement with any of these action teams as they're relevant to the work that you do in your organization or business and industry. So what we're here to announce today is the winners of our 5th Consider Corn Challenge. If you haven't heard of the Consider Corn Challenge, this is an open innovation contest that is really meant to seek out new utilization of corn grain in using U.S. corn for novel solutions, particularly in the bio-based economy and bioplastics, materials, chemicals, et cetera. So we launched the challenge in April of this year, closed the challenge at the end of June, had our judging go underway throughout the summer, and then we notified our winners in August so that they could be here to join us today. And you'll get to hear a bit more about that process. So why the challenge? Why is corn growers concerned or excited about the bioeconomy? And it's really to take all these different areas that we have right now of current utilization and also include that surplus and to turn that surplus into biorenewable chemicals, materials, and products that can be used in the U.S. and worldwide. And we really try to emphasize that surplus of corn is sustainable, renewable, cost-efficient, and readily available and ready for you all to turn into fantastic products. A little bit about the challenge. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but just so you kind of know the parameters, when folks were submitting applications, we were really asking for novel applications across the bioeconomy, whether it was bio-based materials from novel mixes of corn-derived plastics, whether it was plastics that were compostable or had high tensile strength. We were interested in things like heavy-duty fuels or drop-in chemicals, carbon fiber applications, or any other higher value molecules that would help increase the value of our U.S. corn crop. We had a bunch of different evaluations that took place, and a huge thank you to the judges in our room. If you were a judge for Consider Corn Challenge, either in the past or present, if you'll just stand up and wave your hand, that way we can give a quick round of thank you to the judges. You all put in a ton of time. It takes a lot of work, and as you'll hear from Chad here a bit later, this year was a really hard one to judge, and we heard a lot. heard a lot of really good feedback from the judges. In the past, our previous Consider Corn Challenge winners, we have had $700,000 in prize money awarded across 19 winners. With this year's prize pool of $300,000, that makes it $1 million in U.S. corn grower investment in these novel technologies. And we've been excited to also showcase, while we're here at BioInnovations Midwest, many of our past Consider Corn Challenge winners that have gone on to receive additional funding, entered into joint agreements. They've obtained different registration for state incentives, and they've even scaled up to the next phase of development. So it looks like that G is supposed to be an and. I'm not sure why that got pivoted. So if you're wondering, it was an and originally. But if you look here at the winners of Consider Corn Challenge 1 and 2, we have several from those first two challenges, and many of which are in the room. I think we have Aniki in the room. I know Saskia, I saw you all earlier. Lagos in the room, and Iowa Corn. So feel free to just kind of wave your hand if you're in the room so folks can make a note to come see you here soon and come learn about their great technology and what they've done since that first and second challenge. We also have several folks from the third Consider Corn Challenge here. I know we have Lack Girl, definitely Chris is somewhere in the room, so if you want to raise your hand. And then of our fourth Consider Corn Challenge here in the room, I know we've got Blue Stem. If Cameron and you folks want to wave your hands. Oh boy, they skipped our announcement. Oh, we'll have to catch up with them on that later. Well, feel free to look out for all these winners as we go through the rest of today and tomorrow and stop by the booth to read about their technology as well. So with that, I just wanted to share, what's new this challenge. We've had great success with the first four. The growers this year decided to increase that prize pool to $300,000. And this year we awarded 3 winners. We did the change of venue announcing here at BioInnovations Midwest. We had great involvement from new judges, some of which you saw earlier that are in this room, also from the investment community, and we really leveraged some new partnerships for this challenge. So we are excited to announce that this year's winners of the Consider Corn Challenge 5 are Arizona State University, TerraGea, and AirTerra. And I'm going to invite each of them up at a time to share a bit more about their technology with you all, and then you can find them during the reception as well to ask some more questions. So with that, Ravi, if I can have you begin with your presentation, please help me welcome Ravi to the stage.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ravi Alaujla, Associate Professor at Arizona State University. And our product is bio-based corrosion inhibitor for use in crude oil pipelines. In the United States, we have a 250,000-mile long pipeline network. And in the past 20 years, we lost $4.5 billion because of pipeline accidents. And around 1.8 million barrels of oil got leaked because of the pipeline accidents. And here you can see 2 pictures where you can clearly see how devastating the pipeline corrosion can be. So pipeline corrosion has resulted in 18% of pipeline accidents and about 6% of fatalities that are directly associated to pipeline accidents, and around 20% of total oil spilled. Pipeline corrosion can be so aggressive, it erodes around 3 to 6 mm of cross-section, pipeline cross-section every year. And we might be under the impression that most of the pipeline accidents happen in Middle America and the northeastern part of the America. It's not like that. Pipeline accidents happen in places where there are pipelines. And if this is such an important problem, there should be a lot of solutions that exist as of now. Yes, they do. For example, we use amides, heterocyclic compounds, and many other compounds, but they are extremely expensive. They're quite toxic. Some of them are even carcinogenic. Whenever these chemicals are released because of the pipeline accidents, they destroy the fertility of our lands. They also contaminate our drinking water. So we have to have something that is bio-based that will be able to solve this problem. That is where our product comes into picture. So this product is not something that we are proposing for the first time. We have been working on this product for the past 5 years. Few years ago, we were able to use corn-derived product to mitigate corrosion that is caused by the de-icing solutions. And we were able to mitigate a lot of corrosion because of that in the vehicles and in the steel bridges. And building on this background, we were able to come up with a new bio-based corn-derived product that can be emulsified into crude oil, which will form a very thin film on the interior surface of the pipelines, mitigating the corrosion. And here I have a visual representation of what our product does. We already have solid preliminary results, but I just don't want to bore you with all those results. In the top row, you can see a steel coupon that was exposed to crude oil that we procured from Bakken crude oil field. And you can clearly see that at the end of 48th hour, there is significant amount of corrosion. And in the second row, you can also see the same coupons, similar coupons, that were exposed to the same crude oil, but this time we have the emulsified corrosion inhibitor in it. You can clearly see that there is no big corrosion there. In fact, we were able to suppress the corrosion anywhere between 85 to 92%. We have run several experiments with a lot of different combinations. And we were able to suppress the corrosion rate to 0.0017 mm per year, which is quite significant. At this stage, we are done with the conceptualization, ideation part. We have run the lab level tests. We have convincing results. And in the next 1.5 years, we are planning to do some pilot studies on real pipelines to see what exactly happens. And at the end of that exercise, most probably using the resources that were provided to us, we will be able to submit a provisional patent and take it through the licensing process and obtain a full patent. I really thank National Corn Growers Association for this wonderful opportunity. And I also congratulate Bio Innovations Midwest for organizing such a wonderful event where a lot of similar brains and resources have come here to share their past experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Ravi. Next, we'd like to introduce Kristen up to the podium to discuss their technology.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kristen Brief. I'm the CEO of NCGA. Thank you, Sarah, for announcing us, and thank you to the National Corn Growers Association for this award. It's truly an honor. Our whole team is truly thrilled to receive it. NCGA's mission is to develop biotechnology to convert cellulosic biomass into ethanol and other products. And if we're successful, it will be a big opportunity for all of the U.S. agricultural sector, including U.S. corn farmers. So many of you I know have been around for a while, and you're probably thinking to yourself, gosh, cellulosic ethanol, people have tried that in the past and not really succeeded. People have spent a lot of money on it, so why is NCGA different? And it is an appropriate question. Fundamentally, our biotechnology is very distinct from anything that anybody has tried in the past. The starting point is a very novel biocatalyst. That's a picture of our organism. It's an anaerobic thermophilic bacteria. When the research on this technology was started many years ago, the researchers asked a really basic question, which is, what is nature's best mechanism for deconstructing the recalcitrant part of the plant? This is the part of the plant that's evolved over eons to be structurally difficult to deconstruct. And the answer was this class of organisms, but these organisms are not naturally good at producing ethanol. So we then developed the world's most advanced genetic engineering tools for manipulating these organisms so that they do become good ethanol producers. So that is the starting point of the technology. And from that starting point, we've been able to innovate quite a lot on the bioprocessing side. So 2 points to call out. First, most other cellulosic ethanol technologies, actually I think every cellulosic ethanol technology that I know of starts with a step called thermochemical pretreatment, which is when you add heat and chemicals to the biomass to get it to the point where it can be converted. This technology doesn't require that. That's a big bonus because that's really been proven to be very difficult. And the second point is that we do something called consolidated bioprocessing, which is essentially one-step fermentation. So we add our organisms and the biomass into one vessel, and all of the biologically mediated steps happen in that vessel. And the reason that matters is because it reduces a lot of the cost and complexity, and ultimately enables us to produce ethanol at cost-effective price points when we're at scale. We are still in the lab, so we're planning to get to a lab scale pilot in about a year and then scale up from there. So pretty exciting. So given that this award is from the National Corn Growers Association, I thought I'd just take a moment to highlight what this technology can do if we're successful. So today, this chart shows kind of what happens to a bushel of corn in the ethanol industry. We use about half of the bushel right now, the corn kernel starch. We make ethanol, about 19 pounds per bushel. We make an animal feed product, DDGS, about 15 pounds per bushel. CO2 is released that can be captured and stored or used, and a little bit of corn oil comes out as well. If TerraGea's technology is successful, we'll be able to use a lot more of the corn plant. So we'll be able to cost-effectively convert the corn fiber of the corn kernel, and we'll also be able to convert the corn stover and make more cellulosic ethanol, enriched animal feed with higher protein content, more corn oil, other co-products like fuel pellets, and more CO2 that can be used or stored. So in general, when we think about this, if TerraGea is able to be successful, we'll be able to increase the value of a bushel of corn by about 2x. So pretty substantial. We're not there yet. I don't want to misconstrue. We still have a long ways to go, but it's a big opportunity if we're able to be successful. So just a little bit of a snapshot on us. We're 22 employees right now. That's an older picture of our team, but you can get a sense. We're all based in New Hampshire. We have fantastic academic partners at Dartmouth College, as well as the University of Campinas in Brazil. We have some commercial traction, so we signed a joint development agreement with a US biofuels producer about 2 years ago now, and we're working on developing the technology for a particular application for them. And we've also been fortunate to be supported by grants from government agencies over the years, NSF, USDA, and most probably importantly out of all of these, the Center for Bioenergy Innovation at DOE that supported this technology for quite some time. So that is a snapshot of what we're up to at TerraGea. Welcome questions if you have them at the cocktail reception, or feel free to contact me afterwards. But thank you very much, and thank you again.
Thank you, Kristen. And last but not least, I'd like to welcome Curtis and/or Mike up to the stage to discuss about AirTerra, the third winner of our Consider Corn Challenge.
Good afternoon, and it is such a privilege to be here. First of all, for the team at AirTerra, I'd like to thank the National Corn Growers Association, BioInnovation Midwest organizers, and everyone here attending. Mike and I are here not just as co-founders, but as partners in a new vision that we feel is extremely powerful, connecting producers, corn producers, and families. We set out a while ago and had a vision of creating an air filter that we know is more efficient and better for the earth. 250 million filters are thrown away every year. Most contain glass fibers, PFAS chemicals, and other unhealthy materials for homes and the earth. We saw a problem, but even more importantly, we saw an opportunity. AirTerra air filters are corn-based, they are renewable, they perform at the same level as conventional filters without the negative environmental impact. We're USDA BioPreferred certified. We think that being able to offer a new way of looking at air filtration is critical. The market is outstanding of opportunity for us to connect American growers with families, and that working hand in hand for agriculture and clean air, that is a new representation of bioeconomy, that the product that is ready to go now and is so important in everybody's everyday life, that we are very excited to be included in this venue, and it truly is an honor. And so I'd like to pass over to my co-founder, Mike Malloy, to share a little bit more about where we're going.
All right, thanks, Curtis. Yeah, I think Curtis mentioned a clean air, healthy planet. That's our vision for this company, and that starts with clean air. And so, clean air is essential for human health. So our number one priority is how do we bring clean air into the places where we live, work, and study. Polluted air, a lot of times indoor air is more polluted than the outdoor air. This leads to fatigue, illness, exacerbates respiratory problems like allergies and asthma. And the World Health Organization estimates that 7 million people around the world die prematurely every year because of poor indoor air quality. So it's an important issue, and it's really ironic that the main tool to use to mitigate these effects is filtration and materials that oftentimes contribute to those problems. Curtis mentioned PFAS, forever chemicals, respirable microfiberglass, polyester and acrylics and polypropylene. All of these things have much higher carbon footprint than some of the alternatives. And so, we said, why not? Why can't we do something with a different material? And so we set out to do that. And we didn't set out to find something to do with corn. We set ourselves a high challenge. We said, we need high performance, we need durability, we need cost parity. And it's these attributes that led us to working with polylactic acid, biopolymer for nonwoven filter media that performs as well as what's out there today. So that's why we do it. I thought, we'll also talk through a little bit about how we get here, because it's a long ways from the field of corn here. And I will apologize to Nebraska corn. We'll accept you too. I didn't notice that we just had the Iowa corn on here, so apologies for that. But, it starts in the field. This is field corn. It's fermented. It's pelletized. We send it to someone who extrudes that and cuts it into fibers. From there, it goes to another company where it goes through a thermal bonding carding process and is made into nonwoven filter media. From there, we add an electrospinning nanofiber to get higher performance, more durable performance over the life of the filter. And from there, it goes to a filter assembly shop where they're pleating those and putting them into the final form. So all of these are value-add steps along the way. It starts with a bushel of corn and ends with a filter that performs just like the one you have in your house today. So that's the product, that's the process, and we feel it's sustainable not just for the earth, but sustainable for the communities that host these value-adding manufacturing steps. And a lot of these are in small rural communities, and they can be replicated in lots of other places. So it's a great use for this natural resource that we have here in the Midwest. So that's the process. And that's a product, and we'd really like to thank the National Corn Growers Association for the Consider Corn Challenge. I mean, it's a great process, it's a great event. We learned a lot just by being in the competition, and it's been great to meet so many people associated with the organization here. And I just want to thank you for the award, but also thank you for the great job advocating for farmers, for rural communities around America. Thank you.
All right, so you all are probably wondering, okay, there were 3 winners, but there's more people than that on the stage. And to help give you that explanation, I'm going to invite Chad Epler, a grower from Kansas, up on stage. He also serves as the chairman of our research and development, or research and new uses action team at the National Corn Growers. So please help me welcome Chad.
How cool is that, huh? I mean, think of all the different things that corn could be utilized for that we don't even know. And we're listening to these 3 winners. I mean, it's outstanding. Consider Corn Challenge winners from 1 to 4, outstanding work, and we thank you. Yes, I am a Kansas farmer. I'm not a Kansas Jayhawk, but I am a K-State Wildcat. I'm licking my wounds right now, and it's okay. We will get better. So as an action team, what we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that we recognize folks that can move the needle. And so we had fantastic applicants this year, absolutely fantastic. It was very tough to judge, but there was 2 that felt like maybe needed to be set apart because they are further along the line for commercialization, they're down the road, and so as an action team, we have come up with the Market Mover Award. So we're going to give away 2 of those. And so we have 2 of those Market Mover Awards. The full rollout and publicity will be done next month, but this is just a sneak peek of the Market Mover Award recipients. First, Sustainia. Sustainia is an innovative company at the forefront of sustainable chemistry, established as a joint venture between Braskem and Soich Corporation with the ambition to lead the global bio-MEG market. With a focus on transforming the packaging and textile industries through renewable chemical solutions, Sustainia is committed to creating positive impact for people, business, and the planet. Its business plan includes the construction of 3 industrial plants with a combined annual production capacity of 700,000 tons of bio-MEG, beginning with the first facility in Lafayette, Indiana, representing an investment of $400 million. Our first NCGA Market Mover Award goes to Sustainia. Our second NCGA Market Mover Award goes to Sulzer. Sulzer is also leading the way in ecological solutions such as biopolymer as well as textile and plastic recycling. Its product offering ranges from technology licensing to process components all the way to complete separation process plants. Sulzer provides a range of innovative technologies for crystallization and high-quality polymers. It is the market leader with its unique ring opening polymerization technology for polylactic acid and other bio-based biodegradable polymers. The second NCGA Market Mover Award goes to Sulzer. Okay, with that, I will turn it back to Sarah.
Thank you, Chad, and thank you all for being here today and helping us celebrate the winners of our 5th Consider Corn Challenge and for letting us give you a sneak peek about some of the Market Mover Awards that will be up ahead. As if there wasn't already enough excitement, also wanted to just let you all know to keep an eye out for a second radical corn value chain that will be launched by NCGA and our state partners, which really helps facilitate all the great investment and excitement around Consider Corn Challenge and take it even further to the next level. So please stay tuned about what may come there. Again, please help me thank all of the judges, all the corn growers, all the state and national staff that help make this happen. And please help me thank again and congratulate the winners of Consider Corn Challenge 5 and the Market Mover Awards.